Hey, what is going on, Frag fam? I hope you guys are all doing well today. Elliot here. Welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So, it's good to be back doing videos. As you guys are aware, my daughter is here. It's been taking some time to get adjusted to that, but finally got a decent night of sleep last night, so I got enough energy to actually do a video today, so we're going to go ahead and do it. I don't know about you guys, but here in Florida, it's pretty much already springtime. It came a little bit early this year. I understand most of you guys, especially if you're in the Northeast, are dealing with some serious winter weather right now, so you're probably wishing for spring to come along. So that being said, if you're already in spring weather, we got some springtime fragrances for you. If you're looking forward to springtime weather, got some fragrances you could be looking forward to. I've got 10 fragrances here that I think are just great fragrances to use in the springtime. Doesn't necessarily have to be fragrances that make you think of spring. I think they're just great wares in general, but we got a good mix of both. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. But before we do, as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and you do like the content, and please hit that bell icon and enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and kick it off with one from Xerjoff. This is going to be Neo. Xerjoff Neo. Now the great thing about Neo is often heralded as a summertime option from the house of Xerjoff. Good thing about it is it's just a good warm weather option because it has elements to it that make it good for milder heat as well as high heat. So what you're getting from this is a very juicy, vibrant blast of bergamot. Comes across kind of like a lime-like citrus feel. And then you got soapy, spicy notes. I think there's nutmeg in here, and there's also some neroli giving it a kind of a soapy, clean feel. And then there's also green notes and quite a bit of woodiness, even a little bit of a smokiness in there to kind of give it a little bit more character. And it's those woody / green characteristics that make me think great for spring as well as great for the milder heat. But the brightness of the scent is also good for high heat as well, but we're talking about the springtime. So this is a great one for spring as well. And those green notes are what really make me think of spring, because I'm talking about, particularly if you're somewhere where it's very heavy winter, plant life is coming back to life, if you will. Flowers are beginning to bloom again, grass begins to grow again, leaves come back on the trees. This fragrance, well, it doesn't necessarily smell exactly like that, gives me that mindset because of the green notes that are in here. So once again, from Xerjoff, this is Neo. All right guys, next one's going to be coming from Roja Parfums. This is Elysium Parfum. Roja Parfums Elysium. Now this one here doesn't necessarily smell exactly like springtime to me, but it's just a great wear, particularly for warmer weather. So springtime is no different, even though it's milder heat. So this fragrance is a culmination of a lot of things. Just think fresh, slightly fruity, a little bit woody, a little bit, not ambery, but musky, and just a culmination of a great citrus as well. Citrus notes, maybe a little bit of a grapefruit feel. The fruitiness in here, I often think of an apple that has been sliced open and allowed to brown a little bit, not rotten, just had some oxygen get to it. And then again, it's just an accord of woody notes and an accord of a little bit of a musky feel going along with it. That is my experience with this scent. As you know, it's a Roja fragrance, a million notes given. Just go by with what you smell, because you're not going to smell every note listed for a fragrance like this one. But it is just a really good warm weather wear, and often considered to be kind of a blue style fragrance from the house of Roja Parfums. I do agree with that. It does kind of have that usability to it. But all that being said, it's a great option for the spring months. So once again, from Roja Parfums, this is Elysium Parfum. All right guys, next one's going to be coming from Hermes. This is H24 Eau de Parfum. Hermes H24 Eau de Parfum. Shout out to this fragrance line. I think the great thing about the ones that have been released so far, the EDT, this one, and the newer one, which I forget exactly how to say it, you can find, in my opinion, a style of this scent DNA that you like. Out of the three, this one happens to be the one I like, the Eau de Parfum. Now this fragrance here does make me think of spring. Mainly because it has this kind of mineralic feel, very green in nature as well. Kind of a slightly fruity tropical feel coming by way of a somewhat of a banana scent, but it's actually some yellow florals in here giving that characteristic to it. And it has a musky feel without it smelling like 100% like musk. I forget what the molecule is in here that gives that feel, but you'll see it on the note breakdown in the B-roll. And while this fragrance is one that I think is a perfect use for spring. It's kind of a signature scent worthy scent. You pretty much can use it at any time. But for me, I particularly definitely like to wear this during the springtime because I think that's where it works the best. But again, it's a scent you can use pretty much anywhere, and certainly for the warmer months. So that's why I put it on this list. Once again, from Hermes, this is H24 Eau de Parfum. All right, guys, next one's going to be coming from Christian Provenzano Parfums. This is Ambre d'Or. Christian Provenzano, Ambre d'Or. So, quick story time with this scent here. This was going to be the first fragrance I bought from the house, but at my local niche perfumery, this one sold out first. It sold out pretty quick, I think like in a week and a half or something like that. So I had to wait for it to come back in stock before I grabbed it because I didn't see it online anywhere. But this was my first choice over Massimo, which I've talked about on the channel, done a full review on that one as well. This fragrance here, you could almost think of this as, in my opinion, the super easy to wear, but not typical, if you will, smelling fragrance that anybody can rock, can easily get you compliments. You can kind of use it for whatever. And that's pretty much the main reason I put it on the list, because honestly, I don't really think of this as a springtime fragrance either. What is it? It's very molecule heavy. I will say that. It's very artificial smelling, but very good smelling. You can think of it as a slightly aquatic, fresh, spicy, light amber fragrance. It's a amber fragrance that works really well in warmer months because it's not a heavy amber scent, if you will. I do think it makes a good use of ambroxan, but it's not quite an ambroxan bomb. To me, it isn't, at least. I've got some other fragrances where I think ambroxan is more of a prominent note. It's in here, but there's other stuff to kind of balance it out and not make it just another heavy ambroxan fragrance, in my opinion. That being said, the lightness of this scent is really good for warmer weather, in my opinion, and it's a perfect time to wear it for the spring months coming up, particularly with that slight aquatic feel that it has. It just kind of adds another element to the scent. So once again, from Christian Provenzano, this is Ambre d'Or. All right, moving on. This one's going to be coming from DS and Durga, and this is Coriander. DS and Durga Coriander. Now this one here 100% makes me think of springtime. Why? Because of what this fragrance smells like. The name does imply that it's going to be kind of a herbal spicy feel, because that's what coriander is. So you definitely get that coriander feel here, but overall what this fragrance really smells like to me is a spice garden in the middle of a field that is surrounded by like pine trees or trees of that style, that family, if you will, kind of have that sappy, barky, woody smell to them. And there's some lakes nearby because there's a little bit of a watery feel to this. That's what this fragrance smells like. I think it smells amazing. Super easy to rock, particularly if you're into green fragrances that have a little bit of a different touch to them, maybe not as heavy on the barkiness, if you will. Great use of spice here, very well balanced. Definitely puts me in the mindset of springtime with the freshness of this, especially that picture that it paints in my mind in terms of what I think it smells like. So once again, from DS and Durga, this one here is Coriander. All right, let's move on. The next one's going to be coming from Ambre, and this is Silver Birch. Ambre Silver Birch. I talked about this one a lot last year, and it's pretty much the same reason I'm putting it on the video this year. This smells like walking on a wooden path surrounded by shrubbery and flowers that have recently bloomed on a beach path. That's what this fragrance smells like to me. Doesn't really have an overall aquatic feel. I don't know, that's just the picture that comes into my mind. Slight little bit of kind of fresh fruitiness with this scent, good use of citrus, a little bit of a smoky woodsy feel, kind of giving that birch characteristic. I think there's some smoky vetiver in here to give that characteristic. This fragrance here is perfect for the spring months, in my opinion. I do think it can be a little heavy for the summer months, so I don't really put it as a summer fragrance. And the other thing is this fragrance is ridiculously powerful, which is probably why I wouldn't consider it a summer fragrance. But yeah, this stuff here smells great in that milder heat, which is why I think it's a great option for the spring months. So once again, from Ambre, this is Silver Birch. All right, guys, next one's going to be coming from État Libre d'Orange. This is You or Someone Like You. État Libre d'Orange, You or Someone Like You. And this one here, if you're a fan of mint, if you just like the way mint smells fresh in your hand, that's what this fragrance is. Accompanied by what I would call dewy grass, grass that has just kind of grown back from the winter months and has some dew on it in the morning, and it also smells like rose water. That's basically what this fragrance smells like. It's very, very green with a slight floral touch. Smells like, you know, just outdoors basically. And this fragrance is perfect for the springtime. Really puts me in the mindset of grass growing back and some dew being on it, as I stated with the description I gave for this fragrance. You can certainly use this in the high heat as well, but I certainly prefer to wear it in that milder heat, only because frankly I think in the high heat it doesn't just quite do it the same justice, because at that point you want something to kind of give you the sensation of cooling off. This doesn't really have that, in my opinion. It just smells green and fresh, which is cool, but that's why I think it's a great fragrance for the springtime in particular. So once again, from État Libre d'Orange, this is You or Someone Like You. All right, next one's gonna be coming from Givenchy. This is Gentleman Intense. Givenchy Gentleman Intense. So what you're getting here is the iris in the gentleman style prior to Society. I'm not the biggest fan of the Society fragrances, but that's neither here nor there. So you get a fresher iris here for sure, accompanied by a very fresh but slightly warm spiciness. I think coumarin might be one of the spices present in here. It's a little bit peppery as well. It is a dash sweet, not too sweet though, which is why it's great for the warmer months, particularly in the springtime, and kind of a smoky woodiness as well. I love the way this one smells. This is definitely my favorite of the gentleman line fresher offerings, if you will, over the EDT. I'm not the biggest fan of the EDT. I really like this one a lot better. In my opinion, there are no shortage of iris-based fresher fragrances that you could wear in higher heat. This just happens to be one of the best ones in my opinion and one of my favorites, so that's why I put it on this video. So once again, from Givenchy, this is Gentleman Intense. All right, next one's gonna be coming from Wilhelm Parfumerie, and this is Morning Chess. Wilhelm Parfumerie Morning Chess. Yes, you can absolutely wear this scent at any time, but I do think it shines in the spring or fall months. And what's great about it is this has a very bright and vibrant, very juicy bergamot, but it is accompanied with a very bitter green coming by a galbanum, which is a very plant-like bitter green smelling plant resin, and it's accompanied with leather. The combination of those two things makes this a favorite in my collection, but also I think gives it a little bit more versatility where it can work in mild heat as well as high heat. And after that, you kind of get this very light, woody, very light, non-sweet ambery base to it. But that's pretty much what you get from the scent. Very simple, but very, very effective. Awesome choice for the springtime in my opinion. And this one doesn't really have that spring smell per se, but it's just a good offering. So once again, from Wilhelm Parfumerie, this is Morning Chess. All right, and last but certainly not least, from Narciso Rodriguez, we've got Bleu Noir for him, Eau de Parfum. Narciso Rodriguez, Bleu Noir for him, Eau de Parfum. And what I love about this scent is it's basically a woody fragrance, but it has fresh notes with it. It uses woods in a way to create a freshness. So you get this kind of combination of just natural woody notes as well as fresh woody notes. Very awesome. And granted, this is another one you can kind of use at any time. And it's just a good one that I would put on a spring list because why not? Fresh woody fragrance I think is a great way to go into the spring months if you don't want to go the green route or the heavy floral route or anything of that nature. So this fragrance here, again, it works for anything, but that also is just a good option for the spring months because the woodiness in this is not too heavy for some light heat, if you will. So once again, from Narciso Rodriguez, this is Bleu Noir for him, Eau de Parfum. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you are currently in some springtime weather right now. What are some of the fragrances you're rocking right now? Would love to see what you guys have to say. And if you are looking forward to some spring weather, what are some fragrances you are looking forward to rock once you actually do get that springtime temperature? Would love to see what you guys have to say. So thanks again for watching all the way into the end. I really do appreciate you all. Please remember to be well and smell well. And I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.